Well, let's try game of two halves to sum up this testing session. First 2 days plagued by rain, wind, hail, snow, you name it, we had it. Spinning off Romain Grosjean before it even completed a flying lap. Charles Pic was the first man out on the track. Lewis Hamilton was there on intermediates. And the rain was coming, which quickly stopped any running there. Mark Webber, quickest man on day one, though. Fernando Alonso arrived at the track on day two to find it even colder and even wetter. Jenson Button taking over duties at McLaren that day, and they were struggling. 72 laps only on day two for McLaren. Sebastian Vettel behind the wheel of his Red Bull, taking to the gravel early on. And there's the Lotus of Romain Grosjean, which actually came up with the fastest time of the day. Overnight, big changes down at Marussia. Gilles Bianchi instead of Luis Razzias. The driver lineup was now completed. He had his seat fitting. He was back out for day three, as was Davide Valsecchi, who made the call to come to the track, as did Romain Grosjean, because Kimi Raikkonen was unwell. Grosjean flying in from Paris. Flying round turn 9 was Felipe Massa, and then the wheels came off the Ferrari, an upright problem causing what could have been a very nasty moment, and the engineers all gathering round whilst Felipe Massa tried to explain what happened. Trying to explain this, Mercedes, who Lewis Hamilton said, no, we weren't challengers, we're not there, suddenly come up with a time of 1:20.5 on day three. We then go into day four, and whilst the Lotus was stuck in the garage with a gearbox problem, Fernando Alonso was making the most of some sunshine in the morning, as was Nico Rosberg. Alonso with the second quickest time, couldn't get anywhere near Rosberg on a one flying lap to the 1:20.1. Flying moment almost for Sebastian Vettel at 155 miles an hour through turn 9, before we finally got to see Kimi Raikkonen delayed by illness and then a sick gearbox. Raikkonen back out on the track again and getting some much needed mileage in for a team that has had reliability problems. For Mercedes though, what a good test this has been here in Barcelona. Lewis Hamilton and Nico Rosberg fastest on days 3 and 4. So in total, 23 drivers were used during the course of this, and these are the best times of the week. Rosberg, as I mentioned, on a flying lap of just the one-time run. Alonso was, I think, 2 or 3 laps into his, or start of his run. Lewis Hamilton, 4 or 5 laps, time laps, to explain the difference in first to third, I think purely by fuel load. Massa and Button completing the top 5. Adrian Sutil looked sharp, didn't he, on his return to Formula 1 with four-cylinder. He was only announced on that Thursday morning. Kimi Raikkonen suffering from a lack of track time. And Sebastian Vettel only 12 fastest, because Red Bull just weren't concentrating on their out-and-out pure pace. You can see Mark Webber 14th as well, just a couple of tenths behind. Jean-Eric Vergne looked quick, but didn't reflect in the times in the Toro Rosso, and Gilles Bianchi showed that he has plenty of potential, stepping into that Marussia and looking fairly rapid right from the start.